I have been following Jesus for over a year now, but I'm still not sure that I totally get him. I remember when he walked by where I'd been fishing with a couple of my buddies, and he just said, "Follow me." And no one was more surprised than I was when all of us just got up, we left everything behind, and we started following him. And I can look back now and I can see that that was probably the best decision that I'd ever made. Every day is a new adventure. We walk into towns and immediately the crowds start gathering and Jesus starts talking and it leads to miraculous healings. And before we know it, people are dancing in the streets. Like, there was this one time when Jesus had been preaching for quite a while. So a couple of us approached him and we mentioned that the people are probably getting a little hungry and they still had a long walk home. And Jesus just turns to us and he says, "You give them something to eat." Well, long story short, we found this kid whose mom had packed him a lunch for the trip, and we bring him to Jesus, and Jesus takes that small amount that that little boy had, and he turns it into enough to feed 15,000 people that were there. You should have seen that place. People were just in awe. I think that anything Jesus would have said at that point, anything that he would have called on them to do, the people would have done. He had them eating out of the palm of his hands, really, quite literally. And when we finally got on the move again, a bunch of them approached Jesus and said they wanted to join our group. Great, right? The more the merrier, I always thought. But instead, Jesus comes back at them with some pretty harsh words. For example, one guy says that he wants to follow Jesus, and Jesus says, "If you follow us, you'll be homeless." He tells another guy that if he needs to go back home to say goodbye to his family, he just needn't bother coming back. Talk about strict, right? I've come to believe that the mission that we're on is not for the faint of heart. That's for sure. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Would you? You know, Sunday morning, we are going to be exploring this story in more depth. So I hope that you'll join us at 10 o'clock as we gather to worship in person and live stream at the Milledgeville Brethren Church, when we'll be seeking to answer the question, what is my mission? Hope to see you then.